Get 'em. I got ice on my wrist. I put my hands up while I'm fucking your bitch. Never could switch. I got the tool on my hip just in case you want to flinch. I got the itch. I want the money.
What's going on, y'all? It's AC, and today we are in tune with ESN 2.0.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, crew?
Yeah, man. That's a fact. Hey, so this man right here is out of the Nashville area. I met him through the internet on Instagram. I was looking up hashtags when I moved out here, and his videos just kept popping up on each hashtag I went to. So I was like, damn, I'm hearing him and like, this dude is raw. Like this, he's nice. So I had to reach out to him, and then here we are today, man. One of the illest spitters I know out here, man. ESN 2.0. What's up, man?
My dog, I appreciate it, man. We definitely came a long way before this right here. So people don't know the backstory. Like I was messing with dude before he even knew he wanted to do a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So big ups to him because I definitely saw where he came from to where he extended to. So y'all, if y'all saw that, like how I saw it, y'all definitely have a lot of respect for this dude. So it's an honor for real, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you joining, man. And like you said, like it's crazy how hashtags work. Like, imagine how many other people are looking up hashtags. Like what I was looking up basically is Nashville rappers, Nashville hip hop artists, Nashville hip hop scene, and you just kept popping up. So how important, that would be my first question, that how important is hashtagging to you to be able to be that consistent? Your videos just popping up on every hashtag.
Honestly, bro, I really didn't think they worked. Like I honestly, because I saw people doing it, and they were telling me, yeah, the hashtag, that's how people find you. But when you use the hashtags, you get the robotic pages. It don't be real people.
Exactly.
I just did it because I saw other people doing it, and that's when you clicked on it. I didn't think you were real at first. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, this somebody from just buy my beats now or something like that. So once I hooked up with you, and the funny story is my engineer, shout out to Decadence. He found me through a hashtag also. So right now, how I feel about hashtags is like, for real, use it. Because honestly, you may get a lot of robotic people come through, but you'll get somebody like this guy right here, and look at him. He found me through a hashtag in a whole different state. So it's definitely important to me now, for sure.
Yeah, and it's crazy because just like doing it subconsciously, just doing it just to, what I'm saying, just to put hashtags, and it literally works. And talk about Decadence. And is that your engineer and producer, or does he just make the beats? Or because you mentioned him in every song, it's like y'all hand in hand.
Yeah, he does everything for me. He makes beats for me. We record it, his own little thing. So we're like a one-man band when it comes to me and him, like a PRE band play type of thing. So he does everything.
Yeah, that's dope to have somebody like that, because you know how hard it is to find a producer, one, and to have him be an engineer as well. That's nice, and it sounds clear. Your music doesn't sound amateur. Like everything sounds quality. Like to have that is amazing. Like to even find that person, and to find him, and to find you through a hashtag is even crazier.
Even crazy. But the thing about it is, like me and him go back too before he even thought about doing this engineering thing. Like I was 18 working at Kroger, and that's where I met him. I met him working at Kroger, and that's all I knew him by, a dude that was working at Kroger.
Right.
And you fast forward up to when I started doing my little rap thing, and then he started searching hashtags, and we just kind of just rekindled. So we already had like this past friendship that we already knew each other. So it just worked hand in hand.
That's crazy. So then when did you start rap? When did all this start for you? Because it sounds like you've been doing it your whole life, but when did it start for you?
Man, I've really been writing since I was a kid. Like I never really inspired to be a rapper until maybe a couple of years ago. But I've always liked music. Like, writing my own. I was always good at writing my own songs. So, I'd be at home just writing YouTube instrumentals, just, sharpening up my skills. But honestly, like the stuff that I have out now, like I really put out my first song that's on there last year. So I really started putting the pedal to the metal last year, maybe like January, February-ish.
That was No Competition?
It was, they came out at the same time, Stepping in No Competition. Yep.
Dang, so only to be really active for about a year.
Yep, about a year now. Years and change.
You sound like you've been doing it for a while. And you know what? I was listening to a few of your songs today, and you kind of remind me like a mix of Young Buck and Bun B. Kind of like if they was one person, like
the OGs.
You be riding that shit. You be riding that shit and just talking that shit.
I try, man. I appreciate it. I really do.
So it was about a year you've been seriously taking rap. So what is your rap name mean? Because I would look at this name and be like, okay, like ESN 2.0, like what is it? What does all that mean?
Well, actually, I'm glad you asked, just because I definitely make sure I have a meaning behind anything I do.
Mm-hmm.
So for one, ESN stands for East Side Native, just because I'm, excuse me, I'm from out east,
Mm-hmm.
Nashville, so East Side Native, Then 2.0 came from, because there really wasn't my rap name maybe a couple of years ago. I was trying to rap once before, but I wasn't as serious about it. So once I kind of did it that first time, then I kind of stopped. Then I was like, all right, I'm gonna get back into it. So I was like, all right, it's the second coming, it's the second version of me. I took all my old stuff off of SoundCloud, and I was like, I'm gonna like reinvent myself.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just, like a different version of me, so I was like, okay, 2.0. So it was really 2.0 before ESN even came in. Like it was just really 2.0. But the ESN got through in when I tried to, like, okay, I'm a rapper right now, but one day I want to have my own label. I want to be able to do this. So it's kind of like that LLC type of thing. So that's where all it comes in at.
Okay, and then is there other ESN? Because I know like YBN and all them other groups. Is that what yours is? Like ESN, and then you got somebody else like ESN with another name. Like, is that your group ESN?
Well, right now it's just the me thing. I don't really have anybody else that I have other artists that I may do songs with, but it's just me. It's just the me thing.
Okay, but it's something that you said you are willing to, what I'm saying, move.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that just goes to show the mindset too. Like it ain't just rap for you. You also focus on the business as well.
For sure, you gotta be.
And then, so did you play? I don't know if you mentioned it before or I'm tripping. You play football?
Yeah, that's really what I thought I'd be doing right now. Actually, like I really thought football would be my thing, but I played that for a good bit, like middle school. Well, literally, I think I started when I was like 9, 10 maybe, and I played all the way up through middle school. Got to high school, and that's when I got into track and stuff like that. But yeah.
Oh, and you did track as well. So you went from an athlete to a rapper. Did you have? Now listen, I did the same. I played football and track. I was in football and track as well when in high school and shit.
Yeah.
I played football my whole life. But so did you get any backlash from people family, and people like, oh, this nigga want to rap now. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be in college playing football. Like, did you ever get anybody like on your back like that?
Well, me rapping was kind of a thing that I really didn't tell too many people at first. Like my moms knew, of course, like the intermediate people, but the outer people, they thought was either I was supposed to be playing football. And at one point I thought I was going to go to the Air Force. So the Air Force is what really kind of was like, okay, hey, what are you out here doing now? They don't really know I rap just because I have more elderly family, I guess I should say. So they don't really know, but it is what it is.
Okay, so around them, you just, what I'm saying, they don't even know your music is out.
Nah, I mean, you got a few cousins that follow me on Facebook, Instagram here and there, but the aunties and the grandmas and stuff, they don't know. They just see me as me.
and that's how it is, and it be like, and that's out of respect too, like a respect thing, like you said, they're older too. So, but that's dope, because I had that same kind of story, like going from, being an athlete to rapper. I did have people, looking at. That's why I did want to ask you that if you had went through that as well, because even like people you went to school with, they like, oh well, damn that, because it's always like, oh, there's another rapper. Like everybody's like, oh, this person.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So I did notice on most of your songs, most of your cover arts is a gorilla. What does a gorilla represent to you in your rap career?
Man, I really, that's like my animal, I guess, just because a gorilla, even though they can be calm, I'm not gonna just promote that they're just aggressive everywhere they go. We know they're calm gorillas, but like you go from King Kong, you just see the destruction. It's just always pressure. Every time, it's gonna be a fight or any type of scuffle altercation, the gorilla gives its 100 every time. You just beat on his chest, and you almost look like you gotta respect the man. It's just beat on his chest, and it's just like, okay, what you gonna do?
Right.
So it's kind of like my enemy for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah, because I always see it, and I'm like, okay. Like I always wanted to ask you, like, what did it mean? So that's like your spirit animal.
For sure, because it's times where I go in the studio and I like do some songs, and then I'll be done. I get them sent to me, and I'll redo them. Cause I'll be like, okay, no, I don't like it. And you know, Decadence, he'd be like, oh, you know, what's wrong with you? I like it, you know. I said, I don't feel the gorilla in it. Like it's like my music will speak to me. It's almost like a sense that I get. I'm like, okay, that's it. But if I don't get it, it's like either my like deliverance could have been better. Like something in that song was to the point where I couldn't do it anymore.
Right.
So that's definitely something that I believe in. So it's 2 or 3 songs. Like it was one song off the EP that they didn't even make it. Like I ended up changing it because I didn't feel it. I was like, I don't know. So that is like the inner me. If I can listen to a song that I did and get that feeling like, okay, yeah, I'm going crazy, then that's what it is. But if I don't get it, I'm starting over.
When you do listen back to your songs, do you take yourself out of like, okay, let me get out of 2.0, let me get out of this and listen from like a listener's point of view?
For sure, because there's plenty of times I go in there and I may change some lyrics up. You know, I do a lot of research on, I'm very big on lyricism. Like my favorite subject was English. So if I see something that I may have repeated twice, I try to go in there and take it out. Or, you know, it may be how I said something when it's, you know, meant to be pronounced another way. I kind of listen as an English teacher's perspective. It's like, okay, let me proofread before I for real go do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that so you do write your stuff. You write all your music and stuff. Like, because I know a lot of new artists hop up in the mic and they just punch in. But me, I'm also a writer, and that's like everything you're saying is like how I view music too. Is like you gotta look over it again and keep looking over it again. And sometimes, honestly, that puts a lot of pressure on yourself too, though, because now it's like I should have just kept that shit raw like that. But it's like it's like critiquing everything you do. And it's that's the perfection of it. And it shows in your music, because on No Competition, that's the first song, and Steppin', No Competition and Steppin', the first songs I heard from you. And immediately I'm like, nah, we need to put that on the podcast.
I appreciate that, man.
Immediately I showed Ty and she was like, let's go. Like that shit is fire. So
for sure. Y'all been rocking me for a minute. That and talk my shit. Like y'all really been behind me. I appreciate y'all. You and your girl. Like y'all, I fuck with y'all.
Yeah, man. And then when you made No Competition, so this was gonna be your first like distributed song, like No Competition is Steppin'. That's your first distributed songs. Like, what was the mindset in going into this? Was it a change in like, okay, not SoundCloud anymore, we going to the next level? This is something that could bring back revenue. Were you in a different headspace making this music to become this next level artist?
For sure, just because, you know, excuse me, we all started on SoundCloud. You know, we all was just getting it out there free, telling people to go listen to it. But, you know, I told myself, like, okay, if I really see myself doing this, like I want to make money, I want to be able to, you know, go perform and do all this extra stuff. This is the first step. I need to get into a studio, not a YouTube beat, get a real beat, find how to get this stuff out on these platforms, and we do it that way. And it made it a lot more easier for me, just because when I wrote Steppin' in No Competition, I was on a cruise. So I really had a good headspace to like for real, like focus in and like get to doing this shit for real. But yeah, that was definitely the step where I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this music out. This is gonna be everywhere. People gonna know, like, okay, he's trying to be a rapper, so it got to be right. I gotta come out with a bang, because you know people may get on to you, listen to that first 2 songs, don't like it for it, and be like, all right, I'm done with it.
Right, and never
you gotta deliver. Exactly. So
good first impression. So then I was looking at your Instagram today as well, and going back. So you're saying you wrote them songs on a cruise. So where your Instagram starts at is on a vacation. Like that's your first post, kind of like your last, you know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of where your new self began. Yeah,
that's where the music began. Like I had other stuff on there before, but I'm the type of person where I don't really like to have a lot of posts on my page. So I try to delete things that may get old or have no value anymore. But yeah, that's where it started. Like that cruise specifically, I think, is when I wrote that right there. So that was like the new invention of 2.0. That's where it all kicked off there.
And then you got to Welcome to Shepherdwood.
Yep, Welcome to Shepherdwood. Finally.
And honestly, we gonna get into about this is my 3rd or 4th time listening to the whole thing up and down. And how you just came in on the first joint, you just came right in 2736. Like what is that? What is that number? Is that an address?
Yeah, man. Shepherdwood is where I grew up at out east. Where my great grandmama, my great granddad, where they raised me. 2736 was the numeric part of the address. So that Shepherdwood and 2736 is like something that really hits home with me because that's like where my life really started.
Right.
So definitely. So I really promote 2736 as much as I can.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured I was like, okay, Shepherdwood. And I see that on the cover, it's the whole like front of the community. And then I'm like, okay, that gotta be an address. But I'm like, nah, I don't know. It might mean something else. You name 2
Yeah,
points,
definitely.
you got more numbers on. I'm like, what is the number? What is the numbers about?
Yeah, definitely is the address. And the cover was just I wanted to do it like a family shoot. Like all those pictures of even me when I was smaller, my nieces, my mom, my cousins, my friends, just everybody who helped me get to this point. That they either helped me financially or helped me just mentally or physically, whatever it may have been. Like these are the people who helped me mold my career into what it is today. So I kind of want to like give them, because me being a rapper, you don't really see the people that's behind you who really like fuels you to be your best you. So I gave them that time to like plaster them, be like my first EP, and this is dedicated to y'all.
So this was more of a personal one to you as well, like.
Well, as far as the cover was, just to show everybody that it's not just me that's doing it. I may write it, go record it, but I got people who for that I send the music to, make sure it's straight. Because I'm my biggest critic. I might say a song is terrible. They're like, no, it's good, So all those people, I just wanted to show my appreciation.
That's dope. That goes to show your character as well. Like you got to make sure your people are seeing when you seen as well. So I'll fuck with that.
Absolutely.
And then you got into the next song, Lilo and Stitch, which I feel that one just goes crazy. Why? I know you said Lilo and Stitch in the song, but what made you come up with that being the title for the song?
Really, it's because I said it. Honestly, I was just I had others. Well, I had another one. I had like two names, and I was going over with Decadence, and I was like, okay, so which one you want to do, Lilo and Stitch, or I can't really remember what the other one was, and he was like, let's not do the other one because. I think it was like 21 Savage. A couple of other people had the song of the same name. So it was like, okay, let's not do that. So I was like, Lilo and Stitch. I feel like that'll grab people's attention just because I was a big Lilo and Stitch fan growing up. So I was like, okay, people in my age group definitely going to gravitate towards it, make them look like, what kind of song is called Lilo and Stitch?
And so they like, hard as fuck.
I appreciate it, bro. I think that's my favorite one I've played. Sure.
Yeah, no, that one definitely go crazy. But yeah, Lilo and Stitch, once you see it, honestly, that I clicked on that one first just because, like you said, like that's that nostalgia. It gives us like we all grew up on it, not all of us, but people in our bracket, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Grew up on Lilo and Stitch. So yeah, that's also a good name to grab people in too.
For sure. I thought so.
That was definitely smart on your end. And then so when you got to how many songs, let me ask you first, how many songs total did you record for this? And it was like, okay, we're just gonna do this 5.
Honestly, bro, it was really supposed to be like I was supposed to come out with an album. But when we me and Decadence sat down and thought about doing an album, that's when that COVID hit. So when COVID hit real hard, he ended up moving a little further than where he was. So I couldn't really get to him like I really wanted to. So it took so much time just overlapping for me to even do anything. So I was like, okay, look, I'm not gonna be able to do a whole album. I'm gonna have to do an EP so I can get it out quicker because I've been telling people about the album and the EP or whatever. So I was like, you know what? Let me just do an EP because I really hate going in I hate having too many big gaps without me putting out music. Like me still trying to build myself up as far as like clout and fame wise. You're easy to forget, especially if you take a long period of time to put something out. So I was like, okay, 3-4 months went by. I think Lick Talk was the last one I put out. So I was like, okay, Lick Talk just came out 4 or 5 months ago. It's time to do something different. So I was like, fuck it, we're gonna do a 5-track EP and we're gonna just go from like that.
Yeah, and that COVID really did get in the way of a lot of things. How was that the only thing in your rap career that it affected? Was this album?
Pretty much. I'm really a to myself person anyway. So the whole, when they were shutting everything down and people couldn't go anywhere, it really didn't bother me too much because I don't really go anywhere. I'm usually at home. So it didn't really bother me too much. Like I had some hits as far as like family getting it, but other than that, it was just kind of, it's normal to me. I'm always at home anyway. So
Yeah. And then I noticed you don't have any features on this EP. And it's something that you mention in a lot of your songs is that you mention about features a lot, like that you don't really fuck with features, or what is your take and your view on features? You could just run the whole beat, or it's like I don't really need you. Like what's your take on that?
Well, as far as the EP was concerned, since it was my first one, and I felt like because before the EP came out, like I said, I had no competition in stepping. I had Talk My Shit and Lick Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, no competition in stepping, which is very plain to see, didn't have a hook. It was just me running the whole beat.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Talk My Shit was the first song that I had a hook with,
Mm-hmm.
and then Lick Talk didn't have a hook.
Mm-hmm.
So with the EP, I was like, okay, I definitely need to deliver songs, like actual songs with the hook, 2-3 minutes, like the whole 9 yards.
Right.
So, and then I was like, all right, this is my first EP, which is my first body of work that, whoever's going to see. And it was really more of me showing whoever was listening that I can actually do this. Like, I don't need a feat. I'm not saying the features are an easy way out for a song, but people want to see if you can do a whole song yourself,
right.
like the whole thing. So I was like, okay, you're right, exactly. Let me show them that I can really do this. I don't have to have me rapping maybe a minute 30, then having another person do a minute 30, and that's a song, which is cool. Right. But I was like, let me let people know I can do this multiple times instead of just talk my shit and then another one came with no hook. Like, we're gonna give them everything they need. So that's kind of where that happened. But as far as features go as a whole, I don't really mind features. I know I talk crazy about them in my songs, but that's just because, like I said, I'm my biggest critic, and I'm a big critic on music. Like, I'm not the type that'll want to do a song with you just because you got some clout, or just because you the hottest thing in Nashville right now. Like, if I for real can't connect with your music and like lyrically wise, then I can't really blend with you. It's like, don't get me wrong, I can do a feature, still tear it up and give it to you. But it's like, I like having that musical connection with people. So it's like, if I can't really get into what you're talking about or don't really like what you're talking about, I'm kind of standoffish. So, but I do features. I got another feature coming out. This dude I agreed to do a feature with. So I like features. It just really depends on who you are,
right,
and what you're talking about, honestly. So
cool, how about somebody? Let me ask you a question. How about somebody would be like, "Yo, I'll give you $500 for a feature, but the song is trash. Would you take the money and just do it?"
Well, see, the old me would be like, no, but me being an artist, exposure is everything. So, even if he may have 250 followers on Instagram, those 250 followers may not know who I am.
Right.
So that's 250 more people that I can add on to who's listening to my music. And that's 250 more set of ears that has never heard me before. Right. So, I would do it at that point because it's really not about the money for me. Like, at this point, I just started charging features. Like, I love music for what it is. Like, anybody that wants to put me on their song, I just feel like it's an honor. It is like, oh man, they could have picked somebody else, but they picked me. Right. So I really gotta deliver my best for them. So, but like I said, features are cool, but I would definitely do it just for the exposure and just because, I was at that point one time where I was trying to beg for a feature or trying to get somebody to get on my song. Everybody need help in some way, fashion, or form. So is any way that I can like give some wisdom off or just give this person the feature just to make them smile type of thing, it's cool. So it is what it is.
Because that's the thing in this game too is connections. Like, that's more valuable than money. I say that all the time. Like,
yes, it is.
To be able to know this person, like that person, okay, they know this person that got a studio, that got a, that got a bunch of things that can benefit you. Like, it's so important to have connections, man. And like, I like how you kind of followed up to Shepherdwood was, you were performing in the midst of a pandemic. Like, by any means, you was out there. Like, what was your mentality of going out there? Like,
man, you just never know who's watching, bro. Like, it's everything moves by the word of mouth these days. Like, if you don't have the money to for real make people look at you, the word of mouth and your consistency is what gets people's attention and like them on you. So, shoot, my first, how many performances I've done? Maybe 3 or 4. Like my first one was last year, for like November, I believe. So that was my next step in my career. I was like, okay, I'm putting out music. The next step in my career is to get out there and put a face with the music. Right. So, I just took the the chances that were brought to me just because I was good friends with the girl who, shout out DJ Trill, who runs the ring. And, you know, she gave me opportunities because when she first started it, or at least was kind of getting more followers with it, she sent it to me anyway. But this was before the whole COVID thing.
Right.
But I didn't really know what it was. I'm real skeptical on stuff. So I was like, okay, I got to see what that's talking about.
Right.
But I had to get out there, bro, just because I can pump out song all day. But they going to want to know who's making the music. They want to see your stage presence. So I really just took the opportunity as it came. You know, it was, I knew the girl, you know, I knew what I could do to get in there, you know, the money wise and stuff like that. So I just felt like it was important just because I don't like to be, you know, not seen. Like I said, you take 3, 4, 5 months off and you don't really have too much of a fan base, people forget about you. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, well, let me move up to the next step. I can have something else to post instead of, oh, go listen to my song. I can post my video to show people like, okay, I'm really out here trying to do this.
Right.
And it just happened to be during the pandemic. So, you know.
But honestly, that goes to show your grind and like your want for it, because a lot of people that turn that down, like, nah, they tripping. There's gonna be a bunch of people in there. Like, I don't even know what this disease is. Like, but you was like, nah, like this is my shit. This is my music. It got to be heard. I got to be seen. Like, so that just goes to show to your grind. When I seen that, I was like, oh, this nigga's out here. Like nothing's gonna stop you. Nothing's gonna stop you.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying.
So how was that performing for your first time? Like, I know it had to be weird, like, cause I know how that shit be, and it's like everybody just looking at you.
Yeah, it was like, bro, no cap. Like, I had my Apple Watch on, so it was my first one, and I got real bad anxiety. So I was like, okay. Then I don't really like being around a lot of people. So I'm like, all right. So, you know, as the time is building up to, it was time for me to go up. Like my watch started vibrating. So I was like, okay, I'm thinking of somebody texting me to see, you know, where I'm at or everything like that. I looked and it was like, your heart rate is over 120. I was like, oh shit. Like I was, and I thought I was chilling. Like I honestly thought I was fine. But I looked at my watch. I was like, oh shit, all right, I guess I am kind of geeking in here a little bit. Right. So, you know, I finally ended up going up there and shout out Trap Queasy. That was my first performance. And we did 2 songs. And the song Lick Talk, I had her come up there just to kind of get me in my comfort mode. So I'm glad they played that song before they played Talk My Shit. Yeah. Because she did a lot more shows than I have, and that was my first one. But it was cool. Like right now, I feel like I won't say that I'm used to it because I still get the little jitters. But it was definitely, I'm glad I went to go do it. Because I was, like I said, I don't really like people, and I don't really get along with too many people. So that was the biggest thing for me. Like, I knew I could remember my words because I write all my stuff. I study it like exams. So I knew that wouldn't be a problem. It was just being around all these people just looking at you. And that's definitely what they were doing, just looking. And just really like feeling it out.
And with those type of shows, because correct me if I'm wrong, but it was more so of like it was a bunch of artists performing, right? Like So at those type of shows, I could tell you from experiences, it's a bunch of artists wanting to be the best artist in there. So when they're watching you, they don't show no love to your shit. Like, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But this is how, from my experience, they just watch you like, oh, my shit better than his, so I ain't even going to rock to his shit. I ain't even. And there's a bunch of haters just watching you, basically.
Just looking. Just looking. It's crazy because it was some of the people that were just looking that I could really see. Like came on my DM and like showed love, which was cool. I appreciate, but you would not have thought I would have not expected, because they were just in there just looking, and I was like, damn, like, am I trash? Like I mean, you know, you had people vibing, but like you said, it was more of the artists that were just in there just.
And then after you're done, they come up to you like, good shit, bro. That shit was fire. Like, I'm like, damn, I'm rocking with my shit.
Right. I'm thinking, y'all, exactly, bro. It's crazy, but that's definitely your hometown for you. Everybody's chasing the same dream, especially down here. Like everyone feels like it's a competition. So
listen, that's everywhere where I'm from. I lived in Tampa, lived in PA. Everywhere I go, that's how it is with when you start out local. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta, you know what I'm saying, just keep doing what you're doing, and just gonna get to a point where they can't ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Because you and they face crazy right now, like with content.
Bro. I'm trying.
So what's your next step with your career? Because you just put out this EP, and what do you see yourself doing next after this?
Well, to be specific, it's definitely time for some more music videos because I only have one to talk my shit. So I definitely know that it's time to start working on videos.
Mhm.
Decadence, he wants to do like a actual mixtape, like a 10, 11 track mixtape. That's like our next step as far as like musically wise. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm just trying to work on videos, get that pumped out, do a feature here and there, just keeping myself busy. But the next biggest thing that I'm going to be doing is the mixtape, which is to be named. So that's the next step for me right now.
Okay. And then everything you do right now. So you said you got Trap Queasy. That's somebody that you work with closely. So would you say that Trap Queasy and Decadence is kind of like your team, and y'all really like kind of try and get it out?
Yeah, for sure. Trap Queasy really don't see Decadence as much just because that's like more of my engineer. Like she kind of got her own thing going on.
Okay.
Trap is like her own little brand, I guess you can say, like ESN. So she got some artists, she does her own thing. But we, once we all do music, we come together and we, it's like a community, but she got her own little thing going on. But yeah, for sure. Family.
Any other artists in the city that you see yourself working with, or that you'd be like, I really want to work with that person, or like you can't get in touch with them, but you really want to work with them because you fuck with their music? Not for any attention from them or anything, just you fuck with their music.
Well, I don't really have a lot of like favorite local artists like myself, but local artists here that I can name is like Trap and Mandel. That's like one of my favorite like Nashville MCs right now. If I can get in touch with him to do a feature, something like that, would be wonderful. Don Tripp, Lido, all the OGs of Nashville. I'm definitely trying to lock in with them just because you can get their approval, then you got it. So I definitely want to lock in with them. So definitely those people. I can't really think of anymore.
What about
that's pretty much it.
If somebody in the industry hit you up like right now, like, yo, I need you on this feed, who would you be most excited for to hit you up in the industry right now, artist wise?
Artist wise, probably. See, like I know I rap, but my favorite genre is R&B. So if I can get if Chris Brown can hit me up in the DMs, be like, yo, jump on this song for me. That's all I would need.
You'll be hype.
That's all I would need, bro. Like that's one of the people that I want to do a song with. But as far as like rappers wise, I'm trying to think of who I'm going like real hard with, right? Like Meek Mill. I know a lot of people don't rock with Meek because a lot of stuff he been having going on, but he's a real lyricist.
They do that every 2 years. They do that to Meek.
Mm-hmm.
Meek Mill get treatment every 2 years. They need
every 2 years, and I love the dude. Like he's been one of my favorite lyricists since high school. So if I can get somebody like that's one of them MCs where if you listen to a song, not saying that every song he has been a fucking hit, but every song he gonna give you some type of lyrical pattern in there. And I like the Tony stories. I don't know how big of a Meek Mill fan you are, but like the Tony stories, he got 1, 2, 3. I love somebody who can tell a story. You know what I'm saying? Like I can listen to those songs over and over and over again. So if I can get Meek to holler at me, or I'm not a big Migos fan. I like Migos, but I'm more of an Offset fan. So either like Offset or Meek, that'd be dope.
And you're you call yourself the lyrical assassin.
Yeah.
So you're real into lyrics. Like, how important is it to you that like our lyrics? Because a lot of people just want to, want to do the dance, want to do the all that shit. But lyrics is so important to you. Why do you make that such like a stone on in your career? Like I'm the lyrical assassin.
Because bro, like you said, a lot of people don't really care too much for it. You got the beat, and then if you can kind of catch a cool flow to it, that's all they really care about. But with me, it's like I want people to actually for real listen to it. Like, okay, you like the beat, you like how I'm riding the beat, that's fine. But I want you to, because I'm like my favorite artist, like to this date, was Biggie. Rest in peace, Biggie. Like I love people, like I said, who can just take words, bend them. Like you can give a word and then give another word, and you wouldn't even think like that would even rhyme with that. You would probably even forgot if the word exists, but they throw it in there and it really just make you think. And start it over and be like, damn, what did he just say?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gonna, if you're gonna start the song over for the beat, you pretty much gonna start the whole song over. But so you can catch their attention with some lyrics, like, damn, because lyrics, people use them as captions, people use them, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't go in there and just sell out. Just be like, oh, I got a cold beat. I'm just gonna say a little something and just put it out there. Like I want people to for real be like, okay, he can spit. I want that type of clout. Like, because you got like let me give you somebody that really is not big on okay, like the whole Waka Flocka era.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody really cared about him, the whole lyrical thing. It was more of the vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, he was stamped in, I guess you would call it trap history, I guess, for that vibe and the trap feeling that he got. But I'm trying to have people remember me for like, okay, whatever vibe I give them, but he also can spit too. Like he up there with the J. Cole. I'm not saying I'm as great as them, but you know, later on in life, J. Cole, the Kendricks, you know, stuff like that. I want to be known and remember for that, not just oh, he had a hard ass vibe going. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be like, okay, we can for real listen to him too, though.
It's like you're the guy that they'll be like, you could be like, I'm your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, because people that rap love lyricists. Like I'm sure, like you said, Waka Flocka. I'm sure his favorite rapper, someone that can actually spit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people love that, because when you're actually in the art, you respect the pen. Like, you respect when somebody can actually put those words together. Because people that make the dance music and all that shit, they like doing that. They can get them paid. It's good. It's easy to make. But they love, like, everybody loves the art of just writing and just having lyrics. So yeah, I feel what you're saying. Yeah, I feel what you're saying with that and wanting that, because you're going to be respected forever if you got lyrics. With dance, that shit, that bippity
dies.
Is here and there.
It dies. Like it eventually dies. Like, you know, you got like the Travis Porter era. You know, you don't really see too many of them no more, just because, or hear the music, just because that was an era. Like, it was a dancing party era. And lyrics gonna live forever, because lyrics are in every song, from hip hop to R&B to country to pop. Like, lyrics are everywhere. So, but a vibe comes and it dies.
Yep.
So
it's like trend rap. That's like trend rap. Like, people just hop on, get popular for a few years, and then somebody else turn.
Exactly, and that's what happens when everyone jumps on the same trend. You don't really just make anything out of it. It's kind of like, it's just your turn. It's like, all right, you know, he the one doing the party music right now. Let's give the torch to him until he die down or go to jail or something. Then we're gonna give it to somebody else. So, but you can't say, oh, there's another J. Cole, there's another J. Cole, there's another Kendrick, there's another Biggie.
Right.
You can't say that.
It's all those people are solidified as individuals.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nah, that's dope. And so for your new music videos that you coming out, what can we expect basically from the new videos? We've seen the first one. That was your first video. Now, what more can we expect from these new videos that we're gonna be seeing?
You're definitely going to be able to tell that it was a lot more thought out and put together, because that first one was real last minute. So I definitely want to, for real, put my hands in the new videos. Like, I really want to be able to, like, make it look like a music video, instead of just like, oh, we went to the backyard with the camcorder and we just did, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely, like, the visuals are going to be a lot better. Like, I want to put cars and, you know what I'm saying, just people just having fun. Like, I definitely want it to look more like a music video. And since I'm into this step in my career, is like where I have the EP, I feel like I'm maturing. So I feel like my video should mature also. You know, I can't have all these, you know, songs and then put out the same type of video for each one. So it definitely, the visual is going to be a hell of a lot better.
Okay. So that's something for them to look forward to as well. And I'll be watching all your shit. I love your music, and I appreciate everything, like the honesty in your music. Like, I can look at you and I know it's like, it ain't no bullshit. Like, some people, you hear their music and it's like, but it's like, then you see the image, like you say, you see the person, and it's like this is real. Like, what he's saying is real, and I can feel everything you're talking about.
I appreciate that, bro. That's real big. A lot of anybody that make music know, if you can't get that type of compliment, it's not good. So I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. Man. And now we appreciate you for being honest in your music, and, you know what I'm saying, and delivering it how you do, because, you know what I'm saying, like, people don't last long in this shit. Like, you could have made your third song. And people are like, all right, get them the fuck out of here. It's like, you had your EP now, and it's like, we want more. We want more than that. We want more. We want more.
That's why I try to make sure each song that I put out is better than my last. Because I feel like if I get too comfortable, be like, yeah, I'm good now. You know what I'm saying? People listen to me. I feel like that's what people start to fall off. Once you start to get the big head, don't feel like you got to go in there and put them all, you know, the most effort in it. So I definitely try to make sure, like, I try to put every song out like it's my first one.
And how was it? How did it feel having No Jumper listen to your song and it was actually fucking with it?
man, like that shit meant the world to me because I watch No Jumper on I ain't gonna say a daily basis, but I'm subscribed to him on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I watch all the the big names that they come in there because I watch a lot of interviews. So
Yeah.
and just to see that they would do it for the little fee that they would do it, I mean, of course I wanted them to like it. I cared if they
Right.
liked it, but it was more of an exposure thing for me. Even if it was 50 people watching, that's 50
Right.
people in other states who never heard it.
Right.
But the fact that they liked it, I was just like, wow, and that's the type of stuff to keep me moving. Just because, like I said, I'm my biggest critic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever hear about me quitting rap, it wasn't something because another artist or a label did. It was probably something I decided to do because
Right.
I really put out the song and critique it all the way down to it. So the fact that I could, because you like to feel like your music's good. You want to feel like that you make good quality music. But you got your friends. Who not everybody has the friends that'll tell you if the song is good or not. They'll tell you it's good because they fuck with you. You they dog. You know what I'm saying? I believe you can do anything you put your mind to, which is fine. But you need those type of friends who's going to tell you like, okay, this, that, and the third, or this right here wasn't it, or what you talking about, what does that mean?
Yep.
So the fact that I could, instead of putting it on Instagram for people who hip to my wave and know what I got going on, or
Right.
I'm sure we all got friends who probably don't tell us the whole truth with a lot of things we do.
Mm-hmm.
So to get somebody else who's never heard of me, like don't even know I exist, and to just go out there and like watch them listen to it and just really vibe with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they were talking about Shepherdwood. It was like, oh, after that, do you feel like you feel like you've been to Shepherdwood? Like it was amazing. Like I shout out to No Jumper. Like I'd do that shit again.
Yeah, no, that's dope to get that validation too, because it's people like that that'll be real honest too. Like
exactly.
They'll be like, nah, I ain't really feeling that. Like get real honest feedback. And like you said about friends, like that's so important too, to have people around you. You don't want to keep them people around you that's always, you know what I'm saying, just a yes man to everything. Like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like, because honestly, that ain't love. That ain't love.
No, it's
like,
not.
If you love somebody, you don't want them to look stupid. You don't want them to look
exactly.
You want them to represent your whole squad. Like, so definitely good to have people like that around you. If you do got people like that, man, keep them close, because it's not a lot of real people.
It's not. You said a mouthful, bro. I can't do nothing but agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And so Welcome to Shepherdwood is out now. And
yep, all platforms.
All platforms. And is there any last things that you want to mention about the album, about what's going on, where to find ESN 2.0? You know what I'm saying?
Well, as far as the EP goes, it's like I said, it's everywhere. If you don't have iTunes, it's on Amazon, it's on Google Music. If you don't have any of that, say if you just kind of go with the mixtape wave app era thing, it's on Spinrilla. You can find it Spinrilla ESN 2.0. But yeah, it's everywhere. It's songs for everybody on there. Songs for the ladies, you know what I'm saying, that like to do the dancing and shit. There's one called Throw That on there that I'm sure y'all get into. And that's one thing that I wanted to say. Like, I made that little strip club vibe song just because, well, the way that I made it, I made sure the lyrics were in there just because the strip club twerking age rappers that make that type of music, it usually isn't very lyrical. It's just more of a let me give you a beat to shake your ass to, booty, 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 booty this, booty that, and that's the song. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to give that vibe and also put lyrics in it. You know what I'm saying? So even if you don't like, even if you can't twerk, even if you don't go to strip club, you can still like the song just because of the lyrical pattern. So that's pretty much what I got to say. Just every song, you know what I'm saying, I definitely put, my lyrical foot into, and it's everywhere. And just, follow me on Instagram, Out East, OUTEAST 2_0. And yeah, bro, I just appreciate you having me, bro. It's a dream come true.
Yeah, man. And we got a lot of work to do still. So we're going to catch up after this as well. And then also, I did want to say, when you talk about Throw That, it's girls that they don't be shaking their ass like where nobody can see, but when they're at home, they still be shaking their ass. Like girl be even if they can't shake it. When nobody's looking, they shake it.
Exactly. That's where they practice at. It's like home is like the practice battlefield, fool. I'm telling you. So that if you get that little song, play in your little room, you know what I'm saying, practice, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice little beat, so it's cool to catch on to.
And then they keep practicing. They can show up to your video and they can shake it in your video, whatever they.
You already know the song. You see what I'm saying? For sure.
Whatever they trying to do.
For sure, exactly.
But word now, we do appreciate you joining, man. And we're gonna have so much more to talk about, man. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying, keep up with you, and you're gonna always be around within the cut, man. We appreciate your time. We appreciate
man. I appreciate y'all, family.
No problem.
Appreciate y'all having me, bro.
And thank y'all for tuning in to In Tune with ESN 2.0. Let's go.
The biggest gorilla.